Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rafiat and in today's video we're going to be making something really exciting. We're going to be making Nigerian chin chin, but to this chin chin I added a secret ingredient that everyone loved it when they tasted this chin chin. So please, I want you to watch this video to the end and find out what that secret ingredient is. So let's get right into it. As expected, I'm starting with some all-purpose flour and I'm using 5 cups for this recipe, and to that I added some baking powder and of course some salt. And to provide some flavor, I'm using nutmeg and cinnamon. You can also use vanilla, milk flavor, be free to use any kind of flavor that you want to. And I'm going to pass this through a sieve. It's also very important that you pass your dry ingredients through a sieve to get rid of the clumps, the dirt, and anything at all that is going to be a problem in the dry ingredients. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to mix everything together, making sure that all the ingredients are well combined. So to the secret ingredients, I'm going to be adding sesame seeds to this chin chin. We all know how lovely sesame seeds are. Sesame seeds are rich in nutrients as well. Apart from having a very amazing flavor, they are rich in nutrients, and I'm going to be adding sesame seeds to this chin chin, and trust me guys, it took it to a whole new level. After making the chin chin, I felt like, Rafiat, you have unlocked something new. You have just made a discovery. And they felt really good. So what I'm doing now is to toast the sesame seeds. Please make sure the pan you're using is totally dry. No need for adding vegetable oil. And the reason you want to toast the sesame seeds is that it's going to enhance the flavor. Naturally, sesame seeds have their own oil, and when you toast them, they are going to release that oil, and it is that oil that they contain that is going to give the chin chin an amazing flavor. So make sure you toast this for about 2 to 3 minutes on medium heat, and always stir them continuously. Don't just leave them, because sesame seeds, they burn easily. So after toasting them, go ahead and take them out of the pan immediately after toasting. Don't leave them in the pan because the pan is still hot, and if you leave them in the pan, they are still going to get toasted while still in the pan, since the pan is hot. Like I said, sesame seeds are delicate when toasting, so you don't want to over toast them at all. Allow the sesame seeds to cool down before adding to the dry ingredients, and once you've added them, go ahead and combine everything together, making sure that our lovely toasted sesame seeds get to all corners of the dry ingredients. Okay, so after mixing everything together, now go ahead and add the margarine or butter. I'm using butter for this recipe, but you can also use margarine. That's perfectly fine. After adding the butter or margarine, go ahead and use your hands to massage this into the dry ingredients. Chin chin is one of those recipes that you have to add the margarine or the butter first. There are some other recipes, like maybe when you're making bread, you can add the margarine towards the end. But for chin chin, always add the margarine in the beginning of the recipe. The reason for this is that you want the margarine to get into every corner. That's one reason. Another reason why you should add the margarine at this stage is that you want to get this crumbly feeling that we are seeing here. Okay, it's very important when making your chin chin, and always make sure that you get your butter or margarine to every corner of the dry ingredients. Lift the all-purpose flour from the base of the bowl and make sure it gets to all the corners. The margarine gets to every corner of the dry ingredients. So now it's time to introduce the wet ingredients, and I'm using 2 eggs followed by 1 cup of milk, and I'm just going to mix the egg and the milk together, and after that I'm going to add half cup of sugar. You can add more if you're a sweet mouth, but half cup is okay. Now mix everything together. I like to use a spatula to mix first, and after using a spatula, then you can do the mixing with your hands. So after that, I'm just going to transfer this mixture to a surface, a dry surface. But before that, let me just use my hand to mix everything well before transferring to the surface. And always make sure before you transfer to the surface, sprinkle some all-purpose flour on the surface to make sure that it doesn't stick to the surface. And this is going to make the whole kneading process very easy. Luckily, chin chin is not one of those snacks that you have to knead and knead until your hands begin to, feel sore and painful. No, it's not. Kneading chin chin is more like bringing the dough together, making the dough form one big ball. That's what it's like kneading chin chin. So you don't have to do this with a stand mixer. You don't have to, you don't require so much energy to do this. So all you have to do is knead for a few minutes, and kneading for about, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the quantity of dough, is just fine, perfect for chin chin. So as you can see, the dough is already coming together. So knead this for a few minutes, just like I'm doing. You can use the one hand, you can use two hand method, that's fine. So after kneading this, your dough should be looking nice and pretty, just like mine. So now that I'm done kneading, I'm just going to transfer this to a bowl and allow it to rest for about 10 minutes. It's very important to rest your dough while when you're done kneading. Rest your dough for a few minutes, and while that is happening, go ahead and dust your rolling pin with some all-purpose flour. Everything we are doing is to make sure that the dough doesn't stick. So this is 10 minutes later, and I'm just going to divide the dough into smaller pieces so that we can have something to work with. That is going to be very easy. Working with the whole dough may not be so easy, so it's very good that you divide the dough. So now all you have to do is pick each piece of dough and flatten the dough out. You don't have to flatten to be so thin. A medium level of thickness is fine, depending on how you like it anyway. So today I'm going for medium sized chin chin, so I didn't roll to be so flat or roll to be so thick either. So after that, go ahead and use your knife or your pizza cutter to do the slicing. For today, I use my pizza cutter, and you can see it's pretty easy to do. All you have to do is cut maybe horizontally first before vertically. It depends on how you want to do it. Whichever way is convenient for you, just do it that way. So like I said, I'm doing medium sized chin chin today. If you want yours smaller, just reduce the size that you're cutting. If you want it bigger, increase the size. And once you're done with that, you can go ahead and do the next one, roll out the next dough and cut again. One important thing I like to do, such that my chin chin always come out quite uniform, I like to cut off the edges, the rough edges of the flattened dough. When you cut off the edges, you're going to see that the chin chin are going to come out in squares that are reasonably equal, which is going to make your chin chin look really pretty. To some people it's not really important, but sometimes I feel like I'm extra wanting chin chin that is uniform, everything square and nice. I feel like I'm extra. Am I extra? So just simply cut the chin chin to your desired size and shape and everything. And after that, after cutting the chin chin, we are ready for frying. Also, don't forget that the extra dough you cut out from the edges, all you have to do is re-knead. After re-kneading it, go ahead and cut and flatten them out, then cut again, and that's it. So easy, right? So now let's go ahead and get into the frying process. Of course, I'm going to be frying with some vegetable oil, and once the vegetable oil is hot, I'm going to add onions. Cooking is all about flavor, amazing flavor. So frying your onions in the hot oil before introducing the chin chin is going to release lovely flavor into the vegetable oil. You can also use garlic to do this. You can use ginger. It depends on choice. But most of the time, I just like using onions. I don't know if it's because it's like a traditional thing that most of us Nigerians do. So after that, go ahead and add the chin chin. There are some things to note when frying your chin chin, and to me the most important one is do not fry your chin chin in oil that is too hot. You don't want to do that, otherwise the chin chin is not going to be properly done in the middle. It's just going to be golden outside, and the inside is not going to be properly done. The second thing to note is to stir the chin chin continuously when you're frying them, because you want them to be evenly brown, just like these ones you're seeing, they are evenly brown. And fry them batch by batch, okay? Don't overfill the vegetable oil that you're using to fry. Fry batch by batch, and obey the other rules. And that's basically it. It's pretty easy to make chin chin, really easy. And once you're done frying everything A to Z, go ahead and allow the chin chin to cool properly. But before that, let us take a moment to admire how lovely, how lush these chin chin look, and they came out really crunchy. And guys, I love that sesame flavor. Adding sesame to this chin chin, like I said, I felt like I had already discovered something. Like, I've discovered something. Oh. It was really amazing. The sesame flavor was nice, and I'm really glad I did this. I added the sesame, and that's it, guys. So easy to make, and I hope you're going to try out this recipe. So you're going to transfer the chin to any container of your choice and store for future munching. Thank you so much for coming this far. Thank you for watching my video, and please don't forget to go through my channel because I have other amazing videos for you. Bye, and I'll see you in my next one.